Welcome to segment 2 of the Week 5 show. And before we start, I should say, it's been quiet this week in the NFL for once, hasn't it?
Thank God, yeah. I mean, it needs to be for a little bit after all that's happened.
Of course, we'll talk about where the emphasis or the national attention of football is in our last segment, because their quarterback, one of the star quarterbacks in the last segment, played for the team that's on the spotlight this week. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But right now, a crossover of the NFC here: Giants against the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons last week had a little bit of a struggle game against the Minnesota Vikings, as that Falcons defense just could not do anything, as the Minnesota offense just ran up and down the field with their rookie quarterback. Atlanta's offense did their job, but the defense did not, and that's what caused them to lose that game.
Even Ragnar was happy.
Yeah, pretty much. But Atlanta could not do anything in that game. But on the other side of the field, the New York Giants had a brilliant game, and for the second week in a row, Eli Manning had a great game. I was saying some stuff about Eli, the question if he could be a good quarterback in the NFL. He's been shutting me up the last 2 weeks, I'll tell you that. I don't know where he came from, but Eli has been playing some great football lately, and that New York Giants team behind him is just following right along with. And the Giants right now look like a pretty good team now.
Looks like the Manning face is out for at least this next week.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that, man. The last 2 weeks have been out. But on this one, I'm going to go with the New York Giants. They are at home this one. I believe it's going to help them out. And I just believe Eli's going to have, once again, another good game against his Atlanta defense. Don't be surprised if Eli has another 3-touchdown game in this one. Maybe an interception, just put a little bit of a bruise on him. But I do believe he's going to have another good game besides that. And I believe the Giants are going to win this one 24-21.
As we know, my bold prediction last week was terribly wrong, as T.J. Yates never had a chance at getting a snap because of the Falcons' defense, who basically blew it against Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings. Who's there? And let's refresh Cole's memory here. Who was the Falcons' backup quarterback?
T.J. Yates.
T.J. Yates. Remember that. Eli has been good. Has been pretty good the past couple weeks, and I believe that will translate into a third week here for a good Eli Manning. Although just remember, you can't spell eliminated without ELI. Just remember that. Remember that, Giants fans. Giants 35, Atlanta 21, as the Ben McAdoo offense helps this week. A battle of bottom feeders, but you wouldn't think about it being that way. The Saints against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, bet on the NFC South in this one, as Tampa Bay picking up their first win of the season last week, as they shockingly beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who the week before looked like they were going to be a very good team once again, but once again they let us down to think they are an average or maybe below average team again. But Tampa Bay with a very impressive win in that one. Gallon with a great job at the quarterback position, leading the team to the win in that one. Vincent Jackson once again a great job at the receiver position and helped this team get to the victory.
That's why he's on my fantasy team.
And then for New Orleans, I don't know what to say about this game. They got demolished last week in a game I thought was going to be in their favor, a high-scoring game, but their offense did not deliver it, as the Dallas Cowboys beat them up and showed how weak their defense actually is in that one. As the offense as well couldn't get anything going in that game, as Drew Brees just was shut out for the first 3 quarters, and finally the fourth quarter the team kind of showed a little bit of life, but not enough to get the win.
It's kind of a good thing I wasn't able to get Drew Brees this year, because, excuse me, Saints, you can't put up points against the Cowboys defense?
Cowboys have been looking pretty good the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty impressed by that.
It's a head scratcher. I mean, I'm not going to blame Brees, because Drew Brees is Drew Brees, but come on, offense. It's the Cowboys.
Yeah, but this week I believe Brees is going to wake up a little bit. He's at home, and there's no one's team, like a lot of teams in this NFL, are very, very tough to beat at home. Now I'm going to take the Saints in this one over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just believe Drew Brees once again going to have a great game. So I'll be shocked if he throws quite a few touchdowns in this one, and as I'm having the New Orleans Saints winning this 31-14.
I'm definitely going to have to take back my Saints to the Super Bowl pick, which I thought of earlier. Well, to start the year, I thought Denver against New Orleans. Probably not going to happen now because the Saints are 1-3, which is still a shock. But because they're playing a home game, they will get to 2-3 and looking to be better as they will beat the Bucs 31-17. The Bucs, nice win in Week 3 after a devastating loss to the Falcons, but you still have your problems, Tampa. It ain't looking good still. Saints 31, Tampa 17. Pretty much the game of the week on this schedule, AFC-NFC crossover, and a Texas two-step. Cowboys-Texans.
Yeah, Houston once again looking good last week as they picked up another victory as J.J. Watt once again showing that he can play this game in any position he wants to. As he had an 80-yard touchdown return to interception, which blew my mind that he could run that fast.
If you've been a fan of my show for years, you know that you can't stop J.J. Watt.
Nope.
Not even if there's a guy in a bank robbery over there. J.J. Watt will stop that bank robbery.
Yeah, he's one big dude, and that's one guy I would never mess with. To tell you that.
Exactly.
But Houston, they just look very impressive so far this year at 3-1 now, as they're already looking better than last year. I'll tell you that.
5 letters for the Texans, as Aaron Rodgers said. RELAX.
Pretty much. As Houston looking pretty good right now, and on the other side, and the home team for this week, the Dallas Cowboys looking very good this year, as they're at 3-1, and Tony Romo and that offense looking very, very well. And gotta say, as of right now, if I were to pick an MVP, I believe Tony Romo would be in the top 3 with how good he's played these last 3 games. Romo is playing outstanding, and the defense has been stepping up these last couple weeks. And especially last week against the New Orleans Saints, where they pretty much stopped Drew Brees in that offense and did not allow Graham to really get anything big in that game. So Cowboys stepping up, and this week they're at home once again, and I believe there's going to be a big impact in this game. I am going to take the Dallas Cowboys in this one. I believe Romo once again is going to have a pretty good game against this Texans defense, which is going to be a very big battle in my mind, but I'll be interested to see how that goes. But if the Dallas Cowboys can at least contain J.J. Watt enough, they will get the win in this one, and I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys 27-21.
My friends, defense wins championships. Even though this is just a regular season game, defense wins. And Houston, even though the Cowboys did play well against the Saints, Houston's got the better defense even without Clowney. Come on, it's the Cowboys' defense. You should be able to put up 35 against a second-tier NFL.
He played great the last
defense.
2 weeks. You can't hate on it. You can't say anything about him right now. I'll say that.
Tom Greene said so. I will say that Romo has played better. If you really think about it, in the dog days of the NFL, which I call it, like the bye week ages, week 4 through 12, pretty much. Tony Romo is a good quarterback in those weeks. And what is it? The bye week era, week 4 through 12. Romo will be good. But you also have a thing called J.J. Watt on the other side, which will probably decide this. Houston 35, Dallas 31. It will be a shootout because, well, you don't mess with Texas and their offenses. Anyway, the Jim Schwartz reunion, as they call it here in this area. Detroit against Buffalo.
Yeah, your AFC East leading Buffalo Bills right now, making a change at the quarterback position this week.
You might want to repeat that because I'm not sure the fans can comprehend that.
Yeah, I know. The AFC East leading Buffalo Bills.
One more time, just for kicks.
AFC East leading Buffalo Bills. That really still shocks me a little bit, even to say that.
You heard that right.
Right now, they made a quarterback change to begin this week as Kyle Orton will take over this quarterback position over E.J. Manuel after apparently the Buffalo Bills have not liked what E.J. Manuel has been doing. So Kyle Orton will get the start for them. Kyle Orton, who's had a pretty good career in his life, finally get back to the starting quarterback position. As Buffalo, they do have some big players on this team. If they just get them going, I believe they'll be huge for that team, and heck, they might possibly be able to win the AFC East the way this division is going right now. But for Detroit right now, they are your NFC North leaders. So a battle of the NFC North, a battle of the division leaders here. As the Lions looked great last week against the New York Jets. They did get some lucky on some calls or some plays that Geno Smith. Yeah, I don't know why they EJ Manuel for some reason again, but yeah, Geno Smith, who's struggled in that game, and the Lions took a big advantage of that one. As the Lions now at 3-1 and looking pretty impressive so far this year. And a game where they did not have Calvin Johnson for most of the game, where Golden Tate stepped up and had a great game at the receiver position.
Screw you for taking him in fantasy.
I didn't take him.
Or somebody did.
I didn't take him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, screw whoever did.
Anyways, yeah, Lions.
I thought it was him that tweeted it. It must
me.
have been somebody else.
It's definitely not me, I'll tell you that. But yeah, Detroit looking so far good so far this season. As I do believe that they're going to win this one. They are at home, and this Lions crowd is getting happier and happier every week these guys play.
I'm telling you, you got to believe Detroit.
But I am going to take the Detroit Lions over the Buffalo Bills in this one, 24-14.
It's the Jim Schwartz reunion. And frankly, I'm not sure why this is still a 1 o'clock game, because both Detroit and Buffalo have a combined record of 5-3. Shouldn't it be a 4:25? But that's not in my decision. 1 o'clock games, in my opinion, I think I like the earlier games better. Detroit will win this one, not because I'm a Detroit fan, but because, well, let's face it, they're 3-1, and they have looked. I will say it on air. They've looked better this year, the 3-1 start, than last year in the Jim Schwartz's last year. 3-1. I will say it. They've looked better this year than last. Detroit 27, Buffalo 21. And that will, Buffalo fans should remember this for 8 years. As that's the only time that Buffalo visits in 8 years. Segment 3, coming up next.